So this is the water pump from the Ford Escort Kent engine. And what happened in the past is the bolt broke off in the engine block, and the previous owner tried to drill it out, but he went in at an angle. So he had to file this part into a chamfer or a taper so that the bolt would be able to sit in. If you see the angle that the bolt is sitting at, that's more or less how it was when I took it out. Here's some photos of what it looked like before I started to try and fix this. So what I needed to do was to drill it out so that I could clean out the damaged thread and get a straight hole. Now unfortunately, if I just drilled, it would follow the same angle as the previous hole. So I needed some way to keep this drill straight and at 90 degrees to the engine block as possible. What I did was I used this gate wheel bracket, which is formed like a channel. The sides were parallel, so I was going to use this as the guide and be able to drill that through so that I could get the hole parallel and 90 degrees to the block. So what I did, I put this in my drill press and I drilled it to 10.2 millimeter, which is the tapping size for a 12 mil thread. I drilled this so that I could get everything squared up before I clamped that on. Then I clamped this onto the engine block and I used my drill and I drilled through the existing angled hole and managed to get it pretty straight. Then I took a 12 millimeter tap. I drilled the top to 9 mil and the bottom to 12 mil, and then this guided this thread in. So tap the thread out absolutely straight in 90 degrees to the engine block. I drilled this out to 6.8 millimeter and then I tapped it with an 8 millimeter thread. I then screwed this 12 millimeter bolt into the new thread that I'd made, and then I cut that off and filed that flat so that the new 8 millimeter bolt could then fit in here. Everything is straight and square, and the trick was to use that as a guide for the drill and the tap.